Thank you for tuning in to Boss Babe Conversations. My name is Danetta, your host, educator, and owner of Her Body Bar, here to encourage you to tap into your inner boss babe and become the best version of you. This is a space where you will learn how to elevate your business or tap into a new industry. Hear from other women who are killing it, so grab your pen and your notebook and let's get into it. All right, on this episode of Boss Babe Conversation, we have Isabel Villa. She is the owner of Spoil Me Wax Boutique. I love her so much. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I love you over the years. We always have a vibe when you come in. We always have a conversation. We're always talking business. She's killing it. Her story is so beautiful. I love the elevation. She has a lot of new stuff going on, and I love it.
I do.
So what inspired you to get into the wax industry? Tell us how it got started.
Okay, so I decided to jump into my business is what I'm going to say. I was working at a chain, and nothing was done to me personally, but just looking at the way things were ran is what I'm going to say. Knowing if my husband was to get deployed or sent away because he was in the military,
Right.
I wouldn't be able to take that time with my kids. At that point, I decided it was time for me to work for myself.
Yeah, nice. I
Yes.
love that.
Yes.
So when you started, because I don't know if I ever asked you this. So when you started, were you like, oh, so you said you were working for a chain.
I was.
Did you transition straight into like a small studio and then get to where you are now? Or was it you stayed in a chain and you went straight to like your own thing?
So I was very brave, and
Okay.
I jumped into having a big location and employees. So
Right. How many employees did you have when you started
when
out?
I first started off, I had 2.
Okay.
And then I made my way up to 7. So at one point I got to 7, and then we kind of trickled down since then. Yep.
So how did you manage that? Like jumping in straight, like jumping right into the industry, like I'm having employees. How was that like managing? Because I know that a lot of people that are either in the industry already or like trying to decide like, oh, do I want employees now? Like what did that look like from the transition by yourself to an employee?
Oh, it was scary.
Yeah.
So I had a little break. I didn't jump straight into the business. I had probably about a year break from leaving the chain. That year is when I made my business plan and tried to figure out what I was going to do. Because again, I was jumping into owning a business, something I had never done. So now that I look back 6 years ago, that was very brave. It was brave because I went into this business with 0 clientele, and then I had employees that I had to build clientele for, including myself. So it's scary. Okay. It's really scary.
Yeah, I can only imagine, especially coming straight out of school. Like, hold on, what do I do?
Yes.
So what was like your indicator, or what let you know that you were ready to transition into like a big studio?
I feel, okay, so the first location, because we've had 2 locations, the first location was hidden.
Okay.
We got no walk-ins.
Okay, gotcha.
It was definitely, you had to follow us on social media or you were referred to us, and we
Right.
got to the point where I think we maxed out.
Oh,
And it was time to just open up a storefront and go all in and hope, pray. I'm going to say
Right.
pray that things worked out, and they did.
Yeah,
They absolutely did. Yep.
absolutely. I love that. Because I know so many people like coming out of school or just like trying to figure out, navigate like
Yeah.
the business world. They kind of just like, well, what do I do? And they don't
Yes.
know. So that's definitely like jump in it.
Yeah, so my honest opinion with coming out of school, because I did wait a little bit. I waited 2 years with my esthetician license, is I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't do it. Get some experience.
Yeah,
Customer
absolutely.
service is big. Learn your different clientele, different skin types, different hair. For waxing, of course.
Yeah.
The other services I'm not too sure of. This is what I do every day. I would not. I would go work for somebody first and get some
Yeah,
experience,
that's what I was
and
gonna ask you.
yes, and then jump into working for yourself.
Right, because my homegirl that is in Atlanta, she's going through esthetician school right now, and that was the one thing I was giving her like my advice, like, girl, start your business, do your thing, and she's like, no, I'm learning through like going to school, like it's like very imperative, like you go work for like a chain or something and learn the ins and outs,
Yes.
and get the experience, and then you can branch out from there. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, why? But, every industry is different. And I'm just
Yes.
kind of learning that, like, because this is new. Beauty industry for me is real new.
Yes.
So it's just kind of learning, like, with me, I'm like, no, I started my studio. You get your clientele and you either, like, there's no one to work for in my industry. So
Yes.
learning that on the wax industry or, like, esthetician world, like, it's a lot different.
It is very different.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, is don't ever... If you go work for a chain, don't ever expect for clientele to follow you because they probably are not.
You're right.
So I get it to be booked back to back working for a chain or for just, somebody bigger. You can't assume that. So you want to make sure that you're saving and you have all the experience you need being a business owner, not just waxing,
Right.
To be able to do that on your own.
Right. I love that. What are some common mistakes you see with new wax studio owners? Like, what type of stuff do you see them making?
Okay, so for me, everyone is different.
Absolutely.
But I mind my own business and I stay in my own lane. So for me, it's hard to see what other waxers are doing because honestly, my business is my business and I kind of stick to that and that's that. And when we get new clients, if they're coming from a new or from a different wax location, I don't ask questions just because they're my new client. They're my new friend. I don't want to know, not to be mean, but I don't want to know who they went to or what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for that question is a little hard just because I want everyone to win. I hope everyone's doing well.
Right.
Do
you see, I know you don't want to tap really into that, but like, do you see, I know I see in my industry, I see like a lot of like improper techniques and stuff like that. And as an educator, like, do you see a lot of that when you're seeing stuff online and it comes across your feed, or does it kind of just?
So if I happen to see something online, it's typically people working from home.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Isn't
biggest
that illegal?
one. It is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's in California at least. Yeah. That's the biggest one.
That's one thing I don't understand. Like, even in my industry, like, I don't understand. I get it.
Yes.
But I'm not trying to bust it wide open in somebody's living room. Like, I don't think that I would feel comfortable like that. And like just letting randoms in my house too.
Yes.
Like,
I get it too. I understand.
Oh, did you start?
No, I did not.
No.
I went straight into a business.
I
I get it, meaning like I understand why they're doing it.
Got you.
I mean, or I think I understand because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm very personal.
Yeah,
and I don't want
that's
people
like being my space.
I don't want people knowing where I live.
Because you get those disgruntled clients, and I'm like, now they know you live. Like, people are crazy in 2023.
Yeah, no. So for me, it's just I like my personal space.
Right.
I love
and I like keeping it separate, the business and the personal.
Yes, and when I go home, it's my kids and my dogs. I'm not doing business at home.
Yeah.
So I do have an office at home. So the only type of work I do at home is clearly my
that's different.
stuff.
Yeah, but as far as like
content,
actual doing
content,
absolutely.
But an actual client coming to my house, no. You better be invited over for some wine or something, but do not come to my house for a wax.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good to know. I think that's like something that I've seen in my industry too. Like, it's a lot of people trying, and even with my students, when I ask them like what their plan is, it's more of them like, oh, I'm going to start at home, or I'm going to work from home. Yeah. And like in my industry, it's not like illegal. But I think they just think the mindset, or they just they haven't like thoroughly thought out the process.
The whole business plan.
Yeah. I think that was the main thing. And they're like, okay, it sounds good. Like, oh, I'm going to start from home, like no overhead type thing.
Yes.
But the likelihood of, even in my industry, someone coming in and getting services at your house, I'm not coming
It's not
to
professional. That's what I'm
other than your friends or...
Yeah, well, that's different.
friends or like you're practicing stuff like that. Well, not for your industry, but mine is a little different. But that's what I would do.
Yeah, mine are little things like my sister's eyebrows or little things like that, but not,
No. Just hey honey, I'm just still waxing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how do you train staff or provide excellent customer service? 'Cause especially when you had 7. Like, I know that must have been like a challenge with different personalities and having them like, hey, we need to maintain like good customer service.
So I don't have 7 for a reason anymore.
Hard to manage.
So we're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Honestly, when they first come in for their interview, I'm big on like energy and like filling out their vibe. So I can kind of go off of that with customer service.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then clearly just looking at their resume to see where they've worked at, how long, you know. I don't like to look at my employees like employees. I treat them like my friends or family.
Okay.
I feel like that's the way I can try to gauge how their conversations go with clients. Just staying on top of customer service, for me hasn't been an issue.
Okay.
With who I have now.
Right.
That's
what
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But I am big on customer service.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely sets the tone of your business for sure.
Yes. You have employees as well too.
I have. My sister works for me, and then my best friend also works part-time for me too. So it's kind of different now that I have two instead of one. And it's different. I would say it's a lot easier because it's family.
Yes.
And I'm blessed to be able to have a family member to work for me, and it works out because you hear so many horror stories of mixing business with pleasure.
Yes.
So, So
do you feel like you have to stay on top of them with customer service, or are they pretty good?
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. It's just I'm blessed to have like a good mesh. Like when it comes to creativity, thinking of new ideas, marketing ideas, I'm blessed in that space. I think that's why I haven't branched out to like other employees because I've been approached and I've been asked, and I'm just so scared because I'm just like you. I'm really big on energy. I'm really big on vibes and really big on like the perception of my business. So I just can't have someone come in and like tarnish what I've worked for 3 years and the vibe, and everybody that knows her body bar has a certain way and they come in and get like a different experience type thing. So that's why I've been kind of lacking. I've been kind of scared, but I'm gonna get into it soon.
It is scary, but you don't know unless you try, right?
Right.
And then if it doesn't work out, then there's the door.
Right. I love it. Get out. And I'm like, what are some resources that you used for continued education? I know you're big on that. I've taken courses with you. Courses, y'all. But what are yours? 'Cause I know we kind of be on the same frequency when it comes to like thinking of stuff like that. Like, I want to add new
service,
to my business.
Education. I'm big on social media. So finding the new techniques, a lot of times it's not here.
Yeah.
So I have to definitely fly out somewhere to get my education. I've taken a lot of online training. I'm not against it. For me, I feel like if it's a new service, I definitely want to be in person.
Yeah.
If it's something that I just want some new techniques on, or it's a new product, I can do that online. But for me, I find all of my education and inspiration on social media.
Right,
That's been my biggest thing. Yep.
So how are you with trends? Because I know with me, I watch trends. I like to at least like watch it. I don't know if I'm overkill with it, but I like to watch a trend for at least a year. But especially if it's a new trend, like it's coming out, because I've just seen so many different, like I've taken the class with you, and it just, I think that's what kind of gave me that mindset. Because when I took the one course, the first class I took with you, and I did it for a little bit, and then I noticed like this isn't for me. I really don't want to do lips. Nothing. Class was bomb, so nothing with that. It just once I started doing it, I was like, okay, I don't think this is like the avenue I want to go with my business. And I think that maybe now learning about my business, like if I would have waited and watched it, I kind of probably would have been like, this might not be for my business. With that. But do you watch trends, or do you kind of just like, okay, I watched it a little bit, I think I like it, and then take a course?
I watch it a little bit and then I jump into it. And the reason why is, and I'm sure you agree, trends are very short term. So if you don't jump on that trend when it's like it hits, then by the time you're ready, because you watched it for a year or however long, there's a new trend coming.
It's a new trend.
Done.
Right.
But we are located in the Central Valley, and I feel like a lot of trends hit us last.
Yep.
Or late. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Late. So it's just hard to determine. And then another thing is bringing a new trend to the Central Valley. Do we have the clientele for it?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
Because it's so new, and it's a risk that you take. It's
absolutely.
a big risk.
Because we got that late. Like, I took this stretch mark and scar camouflaging with you, but I had been watching it
Oh, that's been around
for like 2 years.
Yeah,
but it was more like where I came from Atlanta, like that area back in the South. And I mean, it was other areas too. But then once we brought it out, you brought it out here, and I was like, oh, okay, I've been watching this for a while anyways, but now we have it. And then everybody's like, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah. So, and I think at that point, I probably had been 2 years in.
Yeah, because you actually went to the trainer that I wanted to go to. So I was like, oh, she's going to give me some dope information, because that's who I've been watching for 2 years. For sure.
Yeah, so it's risky.
It's
It's
kinda-
a big investment to take on trainings. I understand that, but the reward from taking those trainings
Absolutely.
are so worth it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes they're not. I mean, I've taken trainings where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I literally just threw away $3,000
Right.
because it wasn't what I expected.
yeah,
you know?
but it's definitely a learning
It
experience.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. How do you track your business's success, and what is your definition of success?
Okay. So this is a good one. So me tracking my business success is I live off of reports, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And of course I go back and, kind of look at where I was last October and our last month at this time, the same time kind of thing. You do see, so where I'm at now in October on my reports is literally where I was at last October. So you
Right.
see those ups and those
Yeah,
downs,
ups and
right?
downs.
So I live by Square. Square's has
see?
everything. So payroll,
See?
all your reports, literally everything, timesheets, everything.
Absolutely.
So that's what I use. I've been using it the entire time I've been in business. I haven't had any problems.
Right.
And for me, success means I'm starting to learn what success means. Prior, if you would have asked me this 2 years ago, I probably would have said traveling, right? I'm able to travel and take my
Right.
family. Now it's me sitting at home with my kids and my pets and not worrying about finances.
Right.
That's success for me.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. I think I agree with that too.
Yeah.
It's that and just, I think it's just like the freedom.
Yes.
It definitely was the freedom, especially coming from like working previously like in a 9 to 5 and just be able like when pandemic hit.
Yes.
And I was able to dip and me and my daughter went to Costa Rica for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's
I remember.
Yeah, just
Yes, I
thinking back
remember.
on that, I was just like, I'm so blessed to be able to do that and not even worry and just be able to live my life, come back and keep it moving. And I'm just blessed.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Not have to ask for time off to be able to
Absolutely.
do that.
Yeah, to be able to move
that part's
freely.
Huge.
Yeah, move
that
freely,
part's
for
huge.
sure.
So definitely mine was traveling too, being able to do it. And now, as I'm starting to wind down, I feel like I've been doing this for 20 years. And it hasn't been 20 years, but I definitely feel it mentally, physically, emotionally. I think the biggest thing for me right now is mental health is huge in my family. My kids struggle with mental health. And the fact that I get to be home because my daughter is feeling sad or my son's not having a good day, that makes me feel good too. Like knowing mom can be home to take care of that.
It's not always like that. Like sometimes
No.
you're stressed about not having time to take off.
Yes, like, oh my God, I have to
missing
go
money.
to work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Or, don't get me wrong. There are, because mental health doesn't have a timeline, right?
Right,
They're not
absolutely.
saying, hey, every Friday I'm going to feel sad. It does creep up on you. It comes out of nowhere. There have been times where I'm like, I'm so sorry, baby. I have clients all day. Do you need me to cancel them? I'll move them.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's okay, mom. Just go. I feel guilty.
Yeah.
I feel guilty going because to me, I love my clients, but no wax is what I'm going to say is worth me not being there for them when they're not okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. There's definitely that work-life balance is definitely like everybody sees the glitz and glamour of like owning your own business, but that's one thing that I've learned over the years is like that balance.
Yes, it's not
It's
easy.
hard. It's
I'm
a
still
struggle.
trying to figure it out.
It's a struggle.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I
Absolutely.
had somebody recently ask me, how do you do it? Like, how do you have it all together? And I was like, oh, I don't.
Baby, it looked like that, but
Far from it. I'm far from it. I do not.
Right.
So, but again, that shows you what social media wants you to see, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not going to put all my business out there.
Right. It's not for you. It's not for you. Absolutely. How do you stay up to date with trends and techniques with waxing? And are there any new trends that you're like, okay, I'm liking this?
So recently I've become very interested in sugaring.
Yes. I'm so glad you're leaving that.
Yeah, so if I do take another training, which I probably will because I always do, it will be sugaring.
Absolutely. I love it.
I know it's not a new trend, but it is becoming more noticeable. I feel like we're getting questioned about it, so that is something that I am interested in. And then just staying on top of it, literally social. Like I hashtag everything.
Absolutely.
Because you get it from all over the world. Brazil, and they have like all the beauty, everything.
Absolutely.
So social media.
Right. Mm-hmm. Have you heard about, because my best friend, she is in esthetician school and that's what she's aspiring to do. So she's going to be tuning into this podcast, I already know. But she's talking about, in Atlanta, they're talking about like a hybrid. So it's like both of them, sugaring and what is it?
Together?
Hard wax. Yeah, they kind of, I'll have to talk to her again about it.
Yeah, I can definitely
she was like, I'm
that.
learning a new technique about hybrid. And I was like, what is that? Hold on, we ain't heard of that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
I guess
cool.
I can see that where they do some areas hard wax, some
and
sugaring.
Then go back over sugaring.
Because in reality, we do hybrid too with soft wax.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
we
right.
use both, soft
yeah.
wax and hard wax.
Okay, I like that. I'm very excited about that because I miss my sugar and sugar is fine. I would definitely be an advocate for that for sure. Can you describe the process of a typical wax appointment?
Yeah, from the time you walk in?
Yep.
Okay, so you walk in.
For like a newbie.
Yeah, a newbie. You walk in, we greet you.
Mm-hmm.
We give you a consent form. You fill out your consent form. After your consent form is filled out, your waxer will take you back to the room. Mm-hmm. She'll explain to you from start to finish how to position. Yeah. And then she explains to you what exactly she's doing from start to finish. So you start from, so of course you undress from the waist down. And I know we get a lot of girls that are like, you're going to stay in the room? Yes, honey, we're going to stay in the room because we're going to set up and we're going to see everything anyway. Right. So it doesn't really matter. But sometimes I'm like, okay, well, let me just walk out really quick. Right. I'll stand by the door. But for the most part, it's very fast. Right. So it's you lay down, you position, we walk you through the steps. So cleanse, powder, numbing if you need numbing. Yeah. So yes, we have numbing. Oh, that's the one thing. Yes. Okay. So that's the one thing that we do stand out with. Not a lot of waxers use numbing. Yes, but we do. Okay. If you ask for it.
Yeah, if you ask for it.
So numbing, and then we go ahead and do your wax, and hopefully you're out within 10 to 15 minutes.
They do. They be waxing. Boop,
yep.
boop, boop.
And then we give you aftercare so you know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I'll be talking through mine. We've been having whole conversations.
Yes, and then
it definitely helps. Yes. If you're sitting there just being quiet, it's gonna hurt regardless. But on your first time,
yes.
After you become consistent, it definitely doesn't hurt as bad. But me talking through it, and when my technician does talk, it definitely helps, especially like when I've been gone for a minute and I come back, it's like starting over again.
Well, another thing too is you got to keep in mind that it's kind of awkward to be quiet.
Yeah, it is like.
Yes, yeah. No one wants to
right.
quiet.
Talk to me. What your kids doing? What they doing this week?
Yes. What are you doing for Halloween?
Right.
So I'll go all the way into what are you doing for Christmas? Like just to continue that conversation, and you just want them to feel comfortable. Yeah, you guys are friends now, basically.
Yep, we're sisters now. For sure. How do you ensure that clients are comfortable during your appointment?
Talking to them. Literally. Right? So appointments it's their time. Mm-hmm. So that's their me time. So the appointment is completely all about your client, not about you and what you're having for lunch and you got mad at your boyfriend. Right. Like your clients don't want to hear that unless they ask you. Right. And those are typically your regular clients. Yeah. Yes. But your new clients the appointment's all about them.
Absolutely. Okay. I like that for sure. What are some of the most challenging aspects of being a wax technician, and how do you overcome those?
Challenging? I guess just you never know what you're going to get with the first timer. That part is just, you can't foresee how a client's going to react or, you just don't know. Right. That's probably the most challenging part for me is that I don't know who's going to walk through the door.
Right. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a client like in the middle was like, no, I can't do this?
Yeah. But don't come to me then because I'm going to tell you right now, my clients, you don't tap out.
Right.
You come in for a wax, you're going to leave with the wax.
Right.
I do have employees and I've had employees who will let you, like they understand. They're like, okay, are you sure you're done? Because regardless, you're paying for the wax no matter what.
I already started.
Yes. So, and you take up a time that we can't get another client in. So they're very like, okay, yeah, you're fine. Sure. Me, nope. Don't come to me if you don't. If you want to leave with a mullet, don't come to me. So everything needs to, if you're coming in like, yes, I'm going to do this, even though I'm scared, I know it's going to hurt, but I'm going to go to her because I know she'll get it done. I'll get it done. You're not going to come to me and leave half, and then you'll thank me later.
Yeah, I will tell you, if you're new to this, it's the first, there's like maybe like 2 rips.
Yeah.
If that's even what it's called.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And after that, it's good.
Yeah,
Just make sure you make your appointment every 4 weeks. You'll be good.
Yeah, because definitely if you missed a week, or even if you miss, for me, if I miss a week, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I can tell the difference. I'm like, oh my God, make sure it's 4 weeks. Because I think I tried once, and I think I tried to stretch it, and I was like, don't do that again. I need 4 weeks on the dot.
Yeah, so just stay at your, and I promise you, the first wax is always the hardest thing to go through. That, and if you're a shaver.
Right.
So if you like wax, shave, shave, wax, it's never going to be easy. It's always going to feel like your first time because you shave in between. So don't do that.
Right.
Because you're just creating your hair to grow back thicker.
Oh, yeah.
When we pull it from the root, we're damaging that root, and your hair is growing back thinner, and it just makes the process so much easier for you and for me. And then you're in and out.
So what should somebody do if they're new and they haven't ever got a wax before? What are some tips before they come to you?
So I would say to let your hair grow. You have to let it grow 2 to 3 weeks is what I'm going to say. Exfoliate. If you book your appointment out for 2 weeks, right? Start exfoliating like today. And then exfoliate your bikini area 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I would do it literally the night before your wax appointment. Take an ibuprofen about an hour before maybe, and then you're good. And if you're that scared of the pain, then just ask for numbing. Well, with us at least.
Okay, yeah. Nice. How do you prepare for slow season? I know we talk about that a lot, especially when I come in. I'm like,
I'm all slow right now.
Girl, you slow? Like, you slow? Are you slow? I'm slow. You slow?
I do have a community of friends where I'm like, hey, how are you doing? And
Right.
then they're like, I'm slow. And I'm like, yeah, me too. So over the years, save.
Yeah,
You have
for
to
sure.
save. And you should have a different source of income coming in anyways.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah, absolutely.
Always. So retail,
Something. Keep it going.
online training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just another source, because it even slows down for training in person, and especially right now, I mean, everything is so expensive, gas, food. And honestly, if it was me and it was like, okay, Isabel, wax or food, I'm going to buy food.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah.
It comes. It's here now.
Yeah.
October is probably the worst month of the year, especially for waxing, because believe it or not, we have seasonal waxers, meaning they don't come in when it starts to cool down.
Oh, got you.
Why? I have no idea. 'Cause I'm like, why would you do that? I'm so confused. But it's almost like pedicures, right?
Yeah.
Some girls only do them in the summer.
Yeah.
And
that
I
makes sense.
think I'm not going to say weird, because I don't like to use the word weird. It's just different to me, because I'm like, I
Keep it
stay on
going.
top of my
Yeah, keep it
my
going.
self-care
Self-care.
all year.
Yeah.
Yes. I do it for me. I don't do it for anybody
Yeah,
else.
absolutely.
I'm like, yes, polish my toes. So just saving literally, and then just having another source of income coming in. You should always have that.
I think that's what is very important to consider with adding new services, because I know that, like, if it's me and my slow season right now, I got trained with you with the microneedling, and now that's still year round.
Yeah.
And they typically like to do more of that in the summertime because it's such sun exposure.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that now. That's the difference with this year is a little different to noticing my different trends.
Yeah.
With my reports, it's like, oh, okay,
Even the
now
tattooing.
this is picking up now, because now they're not going to the beach and doing all this. They can have their downtime.
Yeah.
Well, with microneedling, there's no downtime, but just that sun exposure type thing. So I think it's very important to, like,
Have a
consider
different service.
having a variety
Like
of
a winter
services.
service. Okay,
Yeah.
so for instance, I have yoni steams.
Okay, yeah.
And that's a winter thing. Even though I do it every month, all year round.
Absolutely.
It's definitely more, I'm going to say a trend in the holiday season, I guess, because it's colder. I don't know exactly.
I don't know.
So
I think it's just more about education, because I only steam all the time. Like,
True.
It just really depends on, like,
True.
people not really knowing about it here. Like,
Yeah.
I came from Atlanta where it was very big over there.
Yeah.
And I think I know, besides you, I think there's only like one
other
other
place.
that I know about here in town. So I think it's just like educating
Educating
and
them.
like,
That's
knowing,
true.
finding out about it, because I'm like, I'll be honest.
Yeah, oh no, I do it every month. It's very healthy for you.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
there's that, and then of course my permanent makeup. It's all year round, but I've noticed once it starts to get cooler is when I start getting more.
Yeah. I think it has because all that is sun exposure is an issue for that too, right?
For lip blush, anything.
For everything. Yeah. So I think that when
The
they're
stretch mark thing, they have to stay covered.
So I think it's like definitely having a variety of services I think can help you through your slow season.
I think the only thing for me now this year, which is very new clearly, is that I'm moving. So I'm the one that does the permanent makeup.
Right, I'm about to go. Where we going? They don't know. Yes, Arizona. I'm gonna be flying out, y'all. Y'all be like, why she in Arizona outside? Y'all know why.
So with me moving, I don't have somebody in my shop doing permanent makeup. I did it. So the people I have in my shop they're waxers.
Right.
So we do got to figure out something and real fast because the holidays are here.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving.
Right.
Yep.
So what does that look like? So let's talk about that. So since you're moving, I know you're probably still trying to figure things out.
I am.
But do you have any plans of opening a shop there, or is it kind of like I did this, I'm gonna let my thing ride out here in Fresno and manage it there and build a team there, or is it like I'm gonna kind of see and maybe open my own studio in Arizona? Are we gonna have a Spoil Me Wax boutique in Arizona?
So that's a long-term goal. I would love to have a studio in Scottsdale. Actually,
Ooh, nice.
I know.
Nice.
But of course, everyone hates moving that I'm aware of, and you know that getting settled into a new home is very difficult and it's time consuming.
Right.
So imagine like I'm moving my entire life to a new state, and so I would be starting all over
brand
with clientele
awareness and everything.
Yeah. So I think long term, yes, I would love another location and in Scottsdale. But for right now, it looks like I'm going to write it out here. I'll be back to check on the location. I am leaving it to somebody to, keep it clean, stay on top of everything.
Right.
Hope that it works out because I don't know. I've never done that before.
Something new.
And then transition into something different. And so I'll still be in the beauty industry, of course, but I'm transitioning more into online, being in Arizona.
Training.
So, online trainings, online retail. I'm not sure if you saw, but we are dropping a wax pot.
I seen it. I was like, "This is cute. I wish I waxed because I wanted just to have it."
Yeah, we're dropping a wax pot, and
That's
of course,
cute.
we already have our own wax. The meaning to the wax pot for me was because I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of hearing my clients come in and say, "Oh, I wax my own eyebrows at home," or "I wax my own underarms at home," and I'm like, "What are you using? Like, what wax are you using?" And it's typically something from Amazon. Yeah. Or they bought it at Sally's. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, you know what? If you guys are going to go out and buy at-home kits, then let me provide you with something a little bit more professional.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, so it's for everyone.
I think that's one thing, because there's a lot of things that stand out about you. But I think that's one thing that has standed out a lot about you is your retail.
Yeah.
It's cute as hell, y'all. She be having the mama's thing. Like, I wish I had it over here to show you what the little gift she brought me. We'd be on the same frequency for real. But, like, your retail, it just be those pieces where, like, I don't even need it, but I'm getting it because it's cute. For sure. Like, when it comes to the air freshener, just, like, all kind of stuff. Like, I love her skincare line. Like, it's just bomb, y'all. It's bomb. It's bomb. If you haven't checked it out, you better check it out. But I think that's something that's kind of, like,
stood out.
They stood out with you, for sure.
I'm definitely different. I'm a different breed. I want to be the person that brings things first.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
And you have been.
Yeah.
You've been living up to that, for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. What advice would you give someone that is considering a career in the wax industry? Because, you have the estheticians, it's year-round, they doing their thing.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give, I would say, to, like, the younger self of you straight out of school? What would advice would you
straight
give?
out of school, I hated waxing. Really? I was not a waxer. No? I was definitely a facial girl.
Yeah.
But straight out of school, I was scared of waxing. Okay. So if I was to talk to my younger self, it would be step out of that bubble and just do it. Definitely, because I know I sheltered myself from doing things because I was always scared to try something new. So definitely that push is what I would have done. Like, just do it.
Yeah,
just do it. Yeah. And so ever since I opened up the shop, that's been my mentality. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Like, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Just, move on to the next thing. And when running a business, you're going to have losses and you're going to have winnings. That's just part of it. You're not always going to be winning.
Yeah. I think that's like the misconception. I blame social media. Like, don't believe everything that's on social media.
Oh, no, for sure.
But I think there's just like a lot of business owners have painted like this picture of like this wild lifestyle. I'm getting money, this, that. And you think it's just always the glitz and the glam, and it's not. Like,
no, it's not.
It definitely isn't. We got slow seasons too, just
Absolutely.
like Walmart.
Yes, we have slow seasons.
With that, we get, crazy clients. There's just so much of a business. Like, especially when you're a solo entrepreneur, you don't have employees, or you're not in a position to delegate.
Yeah.
You're starting out, you're doing everything.
Yeah.
You are the content creator. You are doing your books. You are doing your taxes. You're doing all kind of other stuff until you learned how to, or you grow as a business and you learn how to, like, okay, I need to outsource this.
Yeah.
This frees up my time.
Yeah.
And I think that it's that, being scared of it, and also not preparing financially for that. So, like, I'm like learning. I know a lot of businesses or new businesses, they don't realize, like, I need to put money away for marketing itself. Like, there's a marketing budget, and that is a real thing.
Yeah.
And just things like that to run your business. Like, it looks all beautiful when you come in here.
It does.
But there's a lot of stuff
There's a
behind
lot
the
of stuff
scenes.
behind it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember this is completely off subject, but little things like I had chandeliers up in my first shop, and they looked gorgeous when you walked in, but they had no idea what we struggled with getting it took like my husband 2 days to get them up. So just little things like that. Like, there's just so much. There's always a story behind something. Like, I'm sure you have a story behind this.
Absolutely.
Getting this on your wall.
Absolutely.
So that's just part of being a business owner. And if you don't be scared, just do it. Honestly, just
sometimes
do it.
you gotta take that leap of faith. Like, I honestly, like, with my business, that was the best decision I made.
Yeah.
People told me I was crazy as hell for moving from all the way from Atlanta,
You did move
packing
here.
up my baby in the middle of a pandemic, and moving and starting in a totally different industry. I was in marketing prior to this.
Yeah.
Never have done beauty a day in my life.
Yeah.
And they thought I was crazy, and it worked out. Here I am 3 years later with my own studio, employees. And so definitely a testimony that it can be done. Sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith no matter what nobody says.
Yep.
It made sense to me, and I just had, like, faith, like, it's going to work out.
Yep. And if you happen to fall, it doesn't mean that you're completely down. You get back up. It's okay. You get up, clean yourself up, and then just on to the next thing.
Yeah, on to the next thing.
You do have to have thick skin.
Absolutely.
Thick skin.
I would
Thick
say
skin.
I've learned through because I used to be that one, like, start your own business. Girl, just start your own business. But I've learned over the years, like, entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
No, it's not.
And I've learned that. I've tried to not push it, but, like, encourage other people, like, just start your own business, do this.
Yeah.
But then I've learned, like, some people, it's not their thing. Like, let me do my 9 to 5 type thing. And that's the type of person I am. So that's something I've learned over the years. Like, it definitely isn't always for everybody.
Not everyone's built like you. But you know what? I'll be honest. I mean, all the way till this month, I have my moments where I'm still like, am I even doing the right thing? Is this still for me? And then I have to stop and realize, like, girl, you have a storefront. You're good. You're okay. But it comes and goes. It's normal. Just like your slow seasons. It comes and goes. It's normal. The beauty industry is so big. It's so big. Like, it's not going anywhere. I know people who would, I hate to say this, but would rather go get their nails than overpay their PG&E bill, which is crazy to me, but they do it.
They do
it. So the beauty industry isn't going anywhere. If anything, trends will fall, but there's a new trend coming.
Yeah,
that's it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So share with me any memorable or rewarding experience that you have had as a wax tech. Because, we be like, they be venting into us or just anything. Like, there's just...
let me see. So for me, like, feeling like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I've made really good friends with clients. And the fact that I've had a few clients, but one in particular, come to the shop when my grandma passed away, and she came to the shop just to give me a hug. Like that part right there touched me, made me feel like, okay, like I'm supposed to be here. Because I would have never met her if I didn't wax her, you know?
Right.
So that part right there, I did. I cried because I was happy, you know? Because it's in this world, it's so hard to find good people.
Yeah, genuine people, for
yes,
sure.
Yes. So that part with the client or being a waxer, and then for me, for business-wise, was seeing my sign go up.
Oh.
Seeing that sign go up on the commercial building
Mama,
and
I
light
made
up.
it moment, right?
Yes, that was kind of like, whew, you know?
we here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. That was rewarding for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. A memorable moment for me. I would say when I got this shop, because I know the journey coming here and just like when I was talking about it before, like getting outbidded and stuff like that, and just like wanting the bigger space and just going through different stuff. And the moment I think the first, like when it was done and I sat in here, there was nothing in here. Girl, I cried like a baby. I was in here crying like I did it.
Yeah.
Like so many people doubted me
Yeah.
and thought I was crazy and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I did it like as a single mom, like, and I'm able to, and also I think another moment would be like seeing Malia like say like I want to be this, like not necessarily like a body sculptor, but I'll just see her like mimicking little stuff, like she'll be in there like, oh, there I got my client, and I'm like,
oh, that's so cute.
I'm inspiring her to like, and now she'll tell me all the time like, mommy, I want to do nails, or mommy, I want to do hair, and I just love it because I've always been that person. And a lot of us in our generation didn't have those options. Yeah. And I'm the one, like, I'm not going to tell you, you got to go to school. Like, I got 2 degrees and I don't use them. So it's one or the other, though. You're going to go to school, no, 3. You're going to go to school, you're going to go to military, or you're going to start a business. One or 2. I'm going to set you up for all those.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to make you say, like, you have to go to school, because school's not for everybody.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Type thing. And so I think those are the 2, like, seeing her, like, she's watching and knowing like I got this mini me, that she's like definitely a sponge. They're a sponge at that age. Yeah. And she's seeing what I'm doing, and she's seeing her mama's grind, and she's seeing like I'm got clients, and this is how we generate income and stuff like that. And also be able to give you the lifestyle. Like I will guarantee, like I want to say what the Lord had in store for me, but I don't think if I was in a different industry or a different job setting that I would be here, or I would have like the flexibility of to be able to like, we're going to Tokyo in February, and we're dipping out, I'm gonna shut the thing down, or have employees to do it. I'm out, run the studio, I'll be back type thing. So I think that has been like a life-changing moment for me to sit back and kind of like take that in, like, whew,
like watch it play out almost.
Right. Yeah.
You know, what I will say, another good moment for me, now that you speak of your daughter, was my son had he's a sophomore in college now. He had a paper due last year, and his paper was who his she-hero was. And it was me, and I bawled my eyes out so much. And then he asked me, he was like, are you surprised? And I said, I am, because I didn't, I don't.
You don't recognize, you don't see that they're taking all that in. Like you don't see, you're doing your day-to-day stuff, and you don't notice that they notice.
And I'm like, okay, then I am doing something right for my son, to acknowledge my oldest at that, 18 years old, to acknowledge that I was a she-hero. It made me feel really good. I I was a girl. I was like, I was like,
real ugly cry, right? For sure.
So I think, hearing it definitely from kids, or just seeing something, it makes you feel like, okay, because again, there are moments still 6 years later where I'm kind of like, what am I doing?
Right.
What am I, why am I doing this? Because the amount of stress that it comes with, the amount of tears, it's a lot, and especially if you have kids, and then you're a single mom.
Right,
so
absolutely.
Props to you, to every single mom.
Thank you.
Because I've been doing it since June only, and not that I'm single. It's just my husband's in a different state working. It's. I don't think that I'm meant to be a stay-at-home mom. I love my kids, and I love spending time with them, but the whole like Costco runs and the grocery shopping.
Like, no, you stay at home. Let me go do my stuff.
Instacart. So that's something that my husband did. So the fact that you guys do everything by yourself, so much more. Yeah, you guys.
I definitely give it. it's a struggle being a single mom by myself, but I'm learning, like, because now my daughter's in her era with I'm a soccer mom now.
Okay.
So I just don't, like, y'all parents out here with multiple kids in sports.
Yeah, props to you too.
Look, keep hope alive, because I'm struggling with my little Saturday games. Like, how do y'all do it? Like,
Okay, I'll be honest. My kids didn't play sports, so
right?
no.
So I just be seeing, like, and hearing my clients too, like, they'll say, like, oh, I got this, and like one of my clients has a schedule of stuff. I'm like,
All kids
could never.
Yeah, it's
I would have been
hard,
like, help me.
Yeah, if I have one dentist appointment to go to during a week, I'm like, oh, I need someone to take him. Knowing I could, it's different. It's very different. So you guys are the real Wonder Woman.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't. Yeah, it's just, woof, I don't know. I tell my husband every day, oh my God, I miss you so much.
Right, come back. I need your help. Help me.
I need you to go to Costco.
Right. So somebody, have you ever? You had a receptionist once.
I did.
So that definitely helped with the process of running a wax studio, right?
She did much more though. She did so much more.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so she opened up for me every day.
Yeah.
She, for the most part, closed most days. She got wax pots ready for me. She made sure product was stored where it needed to be. She put all of our, what do you call it? I can't think of what it's called. Basically, all of our wax sticks, our pre and post stuff, she had it out ready for us, ready to go. For me, she would literally get my room ready for each client, and I love that about her. She kept my shop clean. It helped that she was like a neat freak. So my bathroom was always clean. My floors were always mopped. She knew how to talk to customers.
Absolutely.
And she had been with me since day one. So
I love it, day one.
Again, we talk about business, slowing down. It did get to the point where business started to slow down, and I no longer needed her there because I was struggling myself.
You had to make a business decision.
I was struggling myself. It was a very hard decision to make. And the reason why it was really hard for me was because she was my best friend.
Oh, yeah.
So if you ask me what is the hardest thing you've had to go through the 6 years being in business, it was that, not having her there. I struggled. It almost felt like I was grieving because I didn't see her every day.
Yeah, you missed that.
It was rough, but having a receptionist, a good one, is so worth it.
It's
definitely worth it.
Now, what do you think about this? Because this is something I used to do and encourage my clients when I was in marketing, and I think it's really big. So here's some free game for y'all. I think another thing, like if you don't have the revenue to be able to hire someone for something y'all could do is what you can do is put together a job description, drop it at Fresno State or Fresno City, and it could be an intern. So that's something I learned along the way when I was doing my thing in Atlanta. I used to do that. So a lot of ways that I would get like an assistant and stuff like that. I would use them, and then you can use them for different roles. And another way to stand out with those internships is pay a stipend. Because most of the internships are paying nothing. Yeah. So they're going to be more inclined to, yours is going to stand out from all the listings if you're paying something. And it could be something like couple hundred a month, but they're happy to get that because they could be taking an internship that wasn't giving them nothing.
Yeah,
so
very true.
That's another way. And then you can have different roles. So they can come in as maybe you might get someone from the marketing department. Yeah. So now you have two things. You got someone to help you with marketing, you got someone with front end, and you put that position. So that's a little free game if y'all looking for somebody. Put that together. I don't have a contact at Fresno State. I haven't did it yet, but that's something I did when I was in Atlanta. Yeah, was use interns, and interns are really good. It helps them because you never know what avenue they're going. It helps them learn different experiences, and then you also get help. So that's something that y'all could think about.
That's probably a good thing to do. At a beauty school, like if they wanted to get some experience, to get a girl in to shadow you, or something like that. So here's a question for you, though, with people coming in. How do you feel with strangers coming in and them having a key to your shop? out of curiosity?
I
How do you
haven't
feel
did
about
that yet, so I
Okay.
think that's why I've been so scared.
Because this is your baby.
It's my baby, and so I think I've been approached, and I haven't jumped that way just because I have my sister and my best friend,
Yeah.
people that I trust already.
Yeah.
And it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle for it's like knowing like, okay, I need the help, but I'm scared. What if
Yeah.
I just put cameras up and just
Yeah.
trust it? But I don't even want to have that mindset. Like right now, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's good. Like I don't have to worry about nothing. If anything happens, somebody broke in. I know that for a fact. Like it's nothing of that nature. But we're just saying when it comes to vibes and stuff. So I don't know. I'm struggling with that. I kind of want to when I get to that point, I want to do like a keyless entry type thing.
Okay.
Because I don't want to worry about keys. I know that's
like
something.
a PIN number or
Yeah,
something?
a PIN number or thing. That's something that we had at Sola.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is a dope idea. This is, you
Yeah.
ain't got to worry about keys when they move out. Like, all I got to do is change the code and it's done.
Yeah.
So I think that was something good. I don't know how I feel about someone having keys. I think I would be okay once, like, with the cameras and a keyless entry type thing. I think I would be okay.
Yeah.
And
I do. What I will say is that I do. Clearly, the girls need keys to get into my shop. But on the alarm code, they have to put in a PIN. So I know who's coming in.
So you know who came in. Yeah,
I know who's coming
That's something
in. I know who's going
too.
out.
Yeah.
And if they're no longer at the location, then I clearly just take the PIN
delete
off.
it. Yeah. I think that's good. That's a good idea for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is scary though, bringing people in that you don't know. I mean, again, it's something you work so hard for.
Yeah, it's your baby.
Yes,
for sure. It's like, don't come in here messing up my stuff.
Yeah, I think after the first time you do it, you're a little bit more at ease.
Yeah.
You feel a bit more comfortable and open to it. But I remember the first time I was like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So have you started? I know we had talked about, and I know there's a lot of moving pieces right now with renting out spaces, because that's something I've been trying to like think about tapping into. You might want to stay tuned. But how would you approach that if you want to rent out a space? Like, is it something where you just include everything in the pricing and rent out? But how do you have?
I do have renters now.
So how did you vet? Like someone coming in, I guess it's kind of hit or miss. It's kind of like an apartment. You never know what you know.
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Type thing.
I mean, I met with them first.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to kind of fill them out a little bit. I wanted to know what services they were offering as well. For me, I do have a renter. She does full body waxing too. The same thing we do. So a lot of times, businesses that rent out locations, they tend to bring people in that don't do what they're doing. And I get it.
Yeah.
Business-wise, I get it, right? For me, it's okay. I don't mind
space,
sharing.
right?
Yeah, I don't mind sharing.
Because you're established though. So I think that would hinder more somebody that was new. But you're established, you have your clientele.
I see it. So my renter that waxes, the only guidelines I had with her was her prices stay the same as mine.
Okay.
I wanted no
Don't
competition.
try to
With her being less than us, she is newer to waxing. She knows how to wax, but she is newer than we are, basically. And I needed her to. It's a good thing, I feel like, because one, I'm setting her up to be successful. Like she's charging what she should be charging. But I needed her to be okay with it. And if a renter is coming in and they're not okay with it, then the space isn't for them. But they need to stay where we're at. If we are ever running specials, they're more than welcome to do the same special. That I don't mind. But I did meet with them first to try to fill them out a little bit. And but honestly, that can just be a friend. So
right, absolutely.
If you want to meet with them a few times, I would do that too, just to make sure. And then another thing is I want to see their social media. So if you apply at my place, yes, I will.
We big on aesthetics.
I will look at your social media because I want to know who I'm bringing into my shop.
Absolutely, absolutely. Another question I was thinking about. Because I know I had that, like, at least starting out, and I know you probably still get it. What about, how do you deal with disgruntled clients and, like, bad reviews? Because I've had my share of those. And I had to, like, learn over the years because I used to be the clapback.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm like, when you said, what about my business? Hold on.
Because it's your baby.
Yeah,
You're protected. The same way I'm going to jump for my kids. You jump for your business because it's... Okay, so it took me a few years.
Right.
It took me a few years to take that and turn it into, okay, I need to change some things. Probably like 4 years. I'll be very honest. It took me... And when the very first time that happened where I was like... okay, I wasn't mad, I wasn't sad. And I remember my very first bad review, I cried.
Yeah.
I cried. It hurt my feelings.
Right.
You know?
Like, how dare you?
Yes, I was nice to you. So it hurt my feel, and it wasn't towards me, but it was towards the shop. So my shop is my baby. It's towards me. After a while, I still continue to be not the nicest person, but I was protecting my shop. But you have to learn to be professional and just not let it get to you. That's the reason why I say you have to have thick skin. And you may not have thick skin in the beginning, but it'll come.
Right.
If you don't give up, it'll come. It happens. And you will realize how much growth you gain with owning a business. Like, me, myself, my self-growth. Not just like, oh, she has a bigger building, she has more employees. Not like that, meaning myself. Like, I grew so much.
Yeah.
And I think that if I didn't have this business, I would probably be the old Isabel who still clapped back right away. So for me, I just take it as in, okay, well, she didn't like this. Let's try doing this different. Or she didn't like the way, the receptionist answered the phone. So, hey, receptionist, how about you say this instead? You know what I mean? But it took me many years to take that criticism and just turn it.
Yeah, turn it.
Not say anything mean or not be like, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Because I was very like, what is she talking about? I gave her the best experience ever. I took it as in, okay, she didn't like that I stood in the room, so let me ask my client, are you okay with me staying in here?
So you took it like getting feedback from that.
Yes.
Not taking it as such a negative, like learning from it.
Yes. So that part's big.
Yeah.
And if somebody told me in the beginning, hey, Isabel, you can't do that. You need to like slow down and, just reply back this way. I probably would have, but I didn't have any guidance coming into this business.
Absolutely.
I am the first business owner in my family. So I had, again, no guidance at all. It was just like, here you go. It got thrown at me.
Yeah, same. I think I listened to a podcast. I can't remember her name. She's killing it in the game when it comes to this stretch mark, and she's in Arizona, I think. What is her name?
Arizona? Let me see.
I can't remember her name, but she has a podcast.
Is she in Phoenix?
I don't know if she's in Phoenix, but I remember watching her. I'm going to get the name. I'm going to insert it. But I was listening to her podcast, and it was one about that. And she said something about slowing down and not taking it so personal.
Yeah.
And that's something I wish I would have heard like years ago.
Oh, same.
But it was like not taking it so personal. When she started off, she took it personal like they were talking about her.
Yeah.
Still kind of is because it's my business. But but she had to slow down. And the whole thing, because I was the one, like when I seen the bad review, I wanted to clap back instantly. And she was more of, let me sit on it for a couple of days and not respond so quickly. Yeah. And that's something I took away from that, because I was the one like, I'm clap backing now. I worked in corporate America. I can do my nice nasty. Let's get it. And it was more so like taking a couple of days. So I've done that. I haven't had bad reviews in a very long time. But when I did the last one, I did that. And I sat on it. And I think I was very proud of my response versus what it was years ago.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely something to take away from that, to take time.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer right away. I mean, don't take too long, but sit on it and let it simmer down, because you're going to be at your highest point of it, and you're going to be upset and agitated when you read it. So if you're responding right then, you're going to get that clap back energy versus waiting and marinating on it and processing. Yeah. Because some of it, like you said, it could be something you could take from it.
Yep.
It might not have been what she said it, but how she said it that irritated you. But it's still a learning tool from that, because you might get something. And a couple of them I did learn, like, okay, well, maybe I'll do this a little different.
Yeah. Another thing is you can't make everyone happy.
I've learned that
I've
too.
had reviews with people who have never even been to my shop. They just didn't like that, we didn't answer the phone, or somebody didn't call them back. After the pandemic, the hours on my window, right? They're not the same.
Right.
Like things changed completely.
Absolutely.
Mad that they came by and it said we were closed on this day, but they saw that we were open. Like just so random things, random things. And I did take that as in, okay, I just need to get the sticker.
Let me get it updated, stuff like that.
But being a business owner, you have to do 55 million things a day, and
sorry, I didn't get to it.
Off the window is not my priority.
Right, absolutely.
So for me, I think sitting on it is a really good idea. It'll help you not be so, I guess, angry.
Yeah.
when you're replying
Yeah,
back.
when you're replying, yeah.
And then again, and then take it as in the way I do, as in let me just make some changes. Like
Yeah.
it's not, not a big deal. It's not. In the beginning, I think I would let it literally ruin my day. It would make me so
too.
upset, like
Yeah,
so
like,
upset.
how dare
and
you?
Yes, and then again over the years, I've learned, why am I gonna let this one person that I don't even know ruin any type of
Right.
even a minute of my day.
Right.
That's not okay. It's not okay. But again, that came with growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I think that. And we tapped into a little bit about like new stuff that's coming out with you. So the main thing is you're moving.
Yes.
Do you have any, and then you have a new product. Is there anything else that you're working on that you haven't disclosed or you want to give us an exclusive about?
I'm all thinking.
Right.
My mind's always working.
Right.
Always. Even when I'm sleeping, I'll wake up and write stuff down. So right now it's the wax pots, but it's a holiday kit that we're coming out with. So it comes with everything they need for their proper setup, basically.
Yeah.
And then just me, again, there's going to be a lot of changes coming very, very soon. And it's clearly with the location here in Fresno, and then just me moving and transitioning into everything online.
Absolutely.
So retail, I'm always coming out with new retail.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to, when you're a creator, it's hard to say like, no, I don't have anything coming out. And then all of a sudden next week you're like, this girl has this coming out. Yes.
Dropped.
Yeah. So there are things that I take a long time on, working on. And then there are things that just kind of come to me and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do that. That makes total sense. Some are successful and some aren't. That's just, again, a win and a loss that you take being a business owner. So as of right now, it's just a lot of changes with the location in Clovis and with just me moving, I feel like. And right now, I used to definitely be a planner where I would plan my month out. Since my husband moved, I moved to like planning my week out because things are different now. And now I feel like I can't even do that because there's always something happening. I mean, I have 3 kids, all teenagers. I have a business.
Right.
I have a freaking farm at my house. Not really.
Do you?
Well, I have 6 kids.
We talked about that.
6 dogs.
Yep, I remember you talking like, dang, girl.
Yeah, I have a lot of pets, and they're needy.
Yeah.
And sometimes they run out, and I'm like chasing my dog, and I was supposed to be at this appointment at this time. So right now, I am living life literally day by day. It's not even. Yeah. I can't even plan it out anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy because I'm like, I have to make my nail appointments. How am I supposed to plan that out?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. One last question before we wrap it up. What advice would you have for anybody in the beauty industry when it comes to preparing for Black Friday?
Ooh, you should have been started already.
You
should have been started already.
You late. If you're watching this podcast, you're late
already. So this is something I wish I would have known a long time ago, and it's probably my fault for not really looking into it. But if you are an educator and you educate in person only, jump into the online training. Jump into it, and
I've
then
been too scared. We're gonna talk about that offline, but I've been scared about that.
No, jump into it. You're making money in your sleep.
Yeah.
If you think about it, and a good platform that I use and that I use now for my trainings online and that I've taken trainings on is Teachable.
Okay.
So Teachable.com is probably one of my faves that I've researched. Yeah. So I would jump into that second revenue. Remember we talked about having different. Yes.
I think I'm so scared because I'm conflicted with my type of service. I just feel like it has to be on, like hands-on. I haven't I guess maybe I haven't went through an online training to kind of understand how it goes, but I'm just like, how do you...
So with something like that, then maybe create a training with different techniques, how you do things, how you set up a proper sanitary appointment, things like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a training like all on teeth whitening, right? It can be like how to properly set up for a teeth whitening and what products to use kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I recently came out with, a few months ago, with a new online training, and that new online training was how to open your beauty business. Ooh. So a lot of people don't know the ins and the outs of permits and licenses.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing.
So I did make it for California because I live in California, and I did give information and contact information for Fresno County, of course, and Clovis is on there as well. But it's the same guidelines for most states. It's just you contact your direct people, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just jump into it.
We're going to talk about that. Look, we might be coming through with some online training soon. We're going to look into that for sure. Well, thank you so much, Isabel. It's been a pleasure.
Welcome.
Always is a pleasure. We always have good conversations.
I'll have to come back after I make the transition to Arizona and share like what it is exactly I'm doing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, so tune into the next episode.